Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Boulder Canyon here in Farming Simulator 19. It is bedtime. That is what we're doing to start with. It is bedtime, so we're going over here. We're going to just have a little drink out of our water cooler. And we're going to go over here, grab a bit of food. And we're going to go in here and we're going to go sleep. Get a little bit of kip for the night. You are not tired. What do you know about it? How dare you accuse me of lying so soon? Right? I've literally just turned up. There, right. We'll slow it back down again. How's our sheep doing? We didn't look at our sheep at all last time. We just completely ignored them. They got 2,000 litres. They're doing just fine. They got 448 litres of wool. And we have another sheep turning up in 66 hours. They're fine, right? We got nothing to worry about with the sheep. So we're going to go for 11 hours of sleep like that. Kabloom. And then we lose a load of money overnight. Loan interest, vehicle leasing, which is actually the, that's not vehicle leasing. It's the cost of the machine over at the shop, which we don't need to worry about. And no, not 7 o'clock. I went to bed at 7 o'clock when we're supposed to go to bed at 8 o'clock. Right, we can work until 8 o'clock. Oh, well, we've done it now. We can't do any work until 7 a.m. So we're up nice and early this morning. We'll just have a look around here. That's producing wool. That's fine. That's throwing grass out onto the floor. That's fine as well. And then we got a little bit of water over here. Everything is looking all wonderful and tickety-boo. So as soon as we get to 7 a.m., we can start working. There we go. How many of you noticed a deliberate mistake this morning, by the way? With our whole starting at 7 type, starting at 6 and finishing at 7 type thing. That's getting lower and lower. We're going to need to do something about that. But what I'd like to do before we do anything about that is the grass over there. It's going to be getting pretty close to being harvestable. So if I go there to grass and then we go, no, it's not. It's not even a little bit close. It's down there. We've got 2 growing stages to go through, and then it's got a harvest stage to go through. It's got a while to go. Okay, fine. We'll ignore that. We've got our brand new engine on our tractor, plus we've got fuel in our tractor as well. This is all upgraded and ready to roll. So we're going to go and haul this one up here. But what we're also going to do is we're going to cut down a few more trees. I'm wondering if we should actually just get on and cut the rest of the trees before we take any of the timber. Try and decide about that. Right, we got the rest of the timber here that we can use. So I want to, let me just go there a second. I will go to there. Right, now toggle sides like that, and then load. We have started loading. Right, we'll go along slow on here. We'll take 1 load, and then we need to be going faster for this anyway. There we go. Look, see, I remembered. I almost remembered on time as well, just to make up for that 1 tree there, the extra little bit of time. I'll go along and I'll cut one of these down. Just one. I'll cut one down like this. There. Chop you over. Well, we've still got it on 30 times speed, and then we'll go through and we'll finish loading the rest of them up. Right, we'll go like that, and then we'll run down through here. Slicing you down through. Still slicing, and still slicing. And then we will go like that, and we'll chop you in half. Right, there's that tree done. And then we can run back over here to our big tractor, and we can go and load up these logs. Right, so we get a nice big load here onto the trailer. And then we'll run that up to the sawmill. That's going to give us a bit of money. And the big question then is, what do we do with the money that we get? Like, we can save the money. We've got... we do have a lot of what we actually need now. So there's, like, not massive amounts of stuff that we need to go and get. That's a really long piece there. That was actually probably a little bit too long. Let's pick those bits up there. Is it going to grab that other one? No, it's not. Right, so I will spin round now. Yeah, I'm trying to decide what we should do. Whether we should just hold on to the money and now just keep holding. we do want to, obviously, we want to make this field here, and I'm thinking that we will just plant this field with grass to start with, so then we've got yet more grass coming through, and it doesn't matter if it's a fair bit later than the other fields. In fact, that's not going to matter in the slightest, because overall, we've got, we're going to be doing very reasonably. You know, having 2 fields and then staggering the growth on it, that's not quite right there. That shouldn't be doing what it's doing. I've got a piece of timber down there that I actually want to go and pick up. I also want to remove some of these, because it's made a bit of a mess. That's a little bit tidier. Let's load those in. There we go. Right, we'll load that up like that. There. And then I got 1 piece of timber right there that I can't reach. It's not letting me reach it. Why can't I pick you up? You should be able to be picked up unless there's a piece on the top that is not cut properly. It could be that. It could be that there is a piece on the top that hasn't cut properly on that one little bit that's lying there. That might be why it's not collecting it. It does do things like that sometimes. Let's keep going over this way. Yeah, we got more logs that we can pick up. So it's definitely not that the trailer's not picking up the logs properly. That's all I'm going to pick up on here for a minute, though. We're going to do it like that, and we're going to head off down this way. We will go and sell these, and then we come back, and we will just use the chainsaw for a couple of minutes, and we will cut down the last of the trees that are going to be on this next piece of field. And then we can actually start going through the stump grinder. That's got to be our very next job. Now, I'm not going to do what I did last time. Last time I went through and I mowed all the grass before I started doing the ploughing. I'm not going to worry about doing that. I'm just going to go through and get started straight away with the ploughing. We'll pull all the way through that, and we'll make our new field. Once we've got our new field and it's ready to roll, we're then able to get going with things like planting and stuff like that. I can even cut down some more timber while I'm doing some planting. That one comes at, look at the difference that engine has made. That was definitely worth the upgrade. That was definitely worth it. I know it was 10 grand, which is that is a fair slice. You know, $10,000 is not to be sniffed at, but definitely worth it. Absolutely, definitely. What do we get this time? $19,526. Oh, yes. Right, well, 19,526. That gives us 15,000. We want about $430,000 to be able to get our Scorpion, the Ponzi Scorpion, which is, yeah, oops, easy, Tiger. We got a little ways to go. Let's slow that back down again. We have got a little ways to go before it's going to be ready. What I'm wondering is, I can put a mower going with the hired help on this field, and I don't have to worry about it. I can leave the hired help going doing the mowing while I cut down a couple of trees. I don't have any other machinery for doing hired help for anything else. Right, so we can't use hired help on the rest of it, but that kind of seems like a foolish thing. I can't go and use hired help. Let's just switch you off right there. There we go, we'll grind to a halt. I can't put hired help going and then go and do stump grinding, because I've only got one tractor that will handle the mower and the stump grinder. I don't have, like, the small tractor won't take it. We can't use our small tractor to do anything other than just ferrying a few things around, but it definitely won't handle our big stump grinder. And I think, though, that tractor will cope with doing the rowing up. So we could do that. We'd be able to put the small tractor going with the rake and start rowing up, and then we can go and get the baler on, and we can start doing the baling with our tractor. And that, I think, would be quite a good thing to go and do. Right, we can do the baling with the big tractor while the rowing up is being done with the hired help with the small tractor. It's a nice little combination of the two machines working together in the field, which I always think is a nice thing. And that one, I'm thinking actually we ought to cut this one into 3. Otherwise it's going to be too long. Yeah, see? It's really, really long piece right there. So I'll chop that one in. Now, there was a log over here. This one didn't pick up. It normally doesn't pick up if you've got a piece that hasn't cleaned properly on it. So let's chop the end off of there. Like that. Seems alright. I've got a little sliver of wood here as well. They don't all have slivers, but some of them do. And I have been told that the best way to get rid of these slivers is actually just to cut them in half. If you cut them in half like that, it gets rid of them completely. So sometimes if you've got those slivers lying around, that is the way to dispose of them. You just chop them in half. And we've got this tree over here. Wow, that's a big tree. There's 2 there, and then there's what? 6 over there? Not that many. We're almost done. It's exciting times. We've actually got our next field very nearly almost done. And there's a lot of field here. This next field is definitely bigger than the last field that we did anything to. The last one that we made. Definitely bigger than the last one. Right. Let's chop the end of that one off. And then I'll go to there and cut that one off. That. And I'll cut you. So let's cut that one into 3 pieces. And then I will go up here and off you go. I've got one more right in front of me. That one can go off as well. And then we will sell. And I'm actually thinking that we will just fast forward time. We'll go forward a whole day. I know that we lose the 7 grand in interest payments. So it's not something that we want to do too much. But I do think it's worth it because otherwise all we're doing is we're just riding around doing stump grinding. And quite frankly, that does get a bit boring. So speeding time up a little bit, ticking through this. We essentially want to go forward another 24 hours. If we can get another 24 hours on the clock, that's going to put us in a much better position. We've got plenty of money now. We've got plenty to see us through another night. There's not anything else in particular that I think we need to be too concerned about with in the way of cash flow or anything. Right, why aren't you doing what you're supposed to do? I'm just going to bring it back here. There, like that. Right, fine. And then I'll cut you, and then I will cut you there. And I'm going to fast forward time to 30 times speed just while I'm cutting the rest of these. So it's going to speed it up a little bit. And we'll leave it on. So obviously we're going to leave it on 30 times speed for the day and well, at least while we're loading up the stuff. So while we may as well do it while we're emptying the stuff as well. Which will be most of the day gone. But, I mean, we'll sell all the timber at the same time. So we're not really losing out on anything. That one can just split in half. Like that. There. And then we've got... That's a short one. No, there's 2 short ones. One right behind the other. Blah, 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 blah. One right behind the other. Take those 2 off. There's one there. And this one over here can fall this way. Do it like that. There we go. Right, over you go, and then I'll come over to this side and trim that one down through there, like that. Easy. There. There, like that. I'm thinking that more sheep is one of the main priorities. With spare cash, we'll keep going until we've got that pen full of, well, not quite full of sheep. I think it takes 80 sheep. So if we sort of aim for, say, 50... Well, say 60 sheep, maybe a bit more than that. We could go with 70 sheep, and then every time we build up to 80 sheep, once we fill it up to the full amount, we sell off 10 sheep. And then we go for another, we let it build back up to 80 again. And each time we sell 10 sheep. So we're just selling 10 each time. We're not, so we're not moving vast amounts of sheep. But that way, we're removing a little bit of the... We just say that we're selling off the lamb. Because, honestly, that is where the money is in sheep. It's the lamb, not the actual wool from the sheep itself. And, let's be honest, lamb is ever so tasty, isn't it? It is ever so tasty as lamb. But I have heard that there are vast areas of the United States Where lamb is a highly unusual thing to get, where you eat lots and lots of beef, but lamb, you don't really find lamb in very many places. And I've been horrified by this. I'm genuinely horrified at the thought that you don't get lamb. I mean, maybe you just call it mutton, but here in this country, mutton is an adult sheep, whereas lamb is a younger sheep. Lamb doesn't taste as strong as mutton. Mutton's got quite a stronger flavour to it than the lamb has got. Anyway, but yeah, it's a very strange thing that you may not have ready access to plenty of lamb at all times. And honestly, I'm like, well, how do you cope? Because that is without a doubt my favourite meat is lamb. I love lamb. It's really good. You've got to have it with a bit of mint. Mint is the perfect, like apple sauce, like apples are the perfect accompaniment for pork. Apples just go so perfectly with pork, don't they? Mint does exactly the same for lamb. It goes absolutely perfectly with it. Now, you can get mint sauce and you can get mint jelly. Mint sauce is a very runny mint. It's a very runny mint product, I should say. It's a very liquid mint product that you pour on, and is generally a much stronger flavour, and it can be quite overpowering. I generally speaking, the biggest mistake that people make with mint sauce is over application. Right, you put too much on, and it will ruin the flavour. You don't want too much mint sauce. You absolutely don't. Your best bet is to have a mint jelly. And now, when it's done in a jelly, it's literally just a jelly with mint in it. And the mint jelly overall is a much milder flavour. You will get a much milder flavour from jelly than you do from the mint sauce. So if you've never had this before, go for the mint jelly. Go for the mint jelly and try to put a little bit with your lamb. Again, don't overdo it, but the mint jelly being a much milder flavour is much better all round. It's a much better accompaniment to your wonderful slice of lamb. It's absolutely perfect. That is what I would recommend. I would recommend you go for the mint jelly, and of course you don't over apply. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely wonderful. It goes so beautifully with it. It really does. Like, you would not believe how perfectly the jelly goes with the mint goes with the lamb. It's just such a beautiful contrast of flavour, and they complement each other so perfectly and wonderful, just like pork and apple. And if you don't like pork and apple, you may not like pork, lamb and mint. But honestly, it's I can't understand how you wouldn't have. I can't understand how anybody could possibly not like it. All right, it just does not compute. Does not compute. I will tell you that right now. I just cannot fathom that such a thing could even happen, that somebody would not like it. Now, let's just ease on over this way. I think we've gathered it. Everything over that way has all been gathered. I can see tree stumps, but I see no actual logs. So we'll just ease our way through here, up alongside it. There. See, it's largely level on this area, and we've just gone along at the very bottom side of where our new field is going to be. We do have to draw a straight line up through where our field is going to be, but I'm pretty sure that we have got our correct straight line. There's a couple of trees there that I'm wondering about. They appear to be questionable in their location, but I think we're going to be all right. It's just because of the slight curve on it over here. I'm wondering if we will put a slight curve on the edge of our field here, so it's not dead straight all the way over. I mean, it doesn't have to be dead straight, does it? Right? In order for the field to be acceptable, it doesn't have to be dead straight on the edges. It can be as curved as we like. It's our choice. We can make our field any way we choose, any way we see fit. A little bit more up there. Let's get one more. Right, that one's just hanging out over the edge, so we're kind of getting to the point now where we've got there. I think that'll do. That'll do quite nicely. The rest of what we've got in this field is the last of the load. And then I will actually want to be running time forward until tomorrow. Once we've got that last load there, up to the mill and sold, I'm not going to want time to be carrying on any longer. I just had one of those real-life things interrupt me. You know that real life stuff that people talk about? Yeah. It came and interrupted me. Very strange, this real life thing. It constantly asks you to do things that you don't particularly want to do, and it interrupts things like important. I tried to explain that I was in the middle of transporting logs to the sawmill, and real life wasn't interested. Real life was not interested in the slightest. Okay, we'll grab this lot here. We'll grab this lot. We will run this lot all the way up to the mill. Just weave in and out. And I'm going to try and do this without actually applying any brakes anywhere. Straight up over... Look at that. Look at the speed that we go racing up that ramp now. Well, now that we've got that... It's that extra... We got... What do we get? An extra 40 horsepower, was it? It was something like that. It wasn't like massive amounts of extra horsepower, but it was just enough to see us through. Right, there's another 21,000. That's pretty good, actually. It's got to be bordering on a complete and total record. $21,000. That has got to be pretty close to a record for us. I don't think we've got that, we may have had that much previously, but it's pretty close to a record if it's not a brand new record. I'm not quite sure at the moment. That's now put us up to $36,000, which is a very good amount for going and buying more sheep. I'm not going to buy more sheep today. I'm going to wait until this field has finished growing, and we'll use some of the grass from here to feed the sheep, and then the rest we will be selling. We'll sell all the rest of it. We'll use some of it to feed the sheep, but yeah, not all of it. Right. Up through here, and slow down. There we go. So we can start loading this one here. Now, with our sheep, the way they are now, we've got... Like, we'll want to load up some bales, and then it was a little bit time-consuming loading the bales last time with our wrapper, wasn't it? Yeah? And it did take a while to do the bales with the wrapper, but we don't have anything to auto-load the wrapped bales, and I'm wondering if we ought to consider purchasing something to shift wrapped bales, because that is going to, especially once we move on to a bigger field here, that is going to be a fair portion of our income is going to be from doing silage and wrap bales as we earn money moving up towards the Ponzi Scorpion. Yeah, we're not going to be doing any arable farming yet. We're waiting until after we've got the Ponzi Scorpion for doing the arable farming, so we'll do a bit... We will, obviously, we'll be felling yet more timber and stuff like that. But the bulk of our income is going to be timber and silage. We'll be able to work through both of those, and then after we've got the Ponzi Scorpion, obviously, then we'll be able to get a little bit more and work towards the last few items that we want to get. Right, there's all of those logs up onto there. I've got one more piece of timber that we want to grab, and then there's everything. It is every single little bit of this. Being later in the day. There we go. That's it. It's done. Put you up onto there. Yeah, so how much is one of those? I mean, we've still got to... We've got our little round baler, and I mean, selling the round baler and the wrapper, and then getting the combination baler wrapper together, I would actually quite like to do that. If we're going to be doing a lot of silage, that would actually be quite a cool thing to do, because it combines the two jobs in together, and it does make it a bit quicker. But we'll also want something for collecting the bales off the field. Now, I've said all along that that will either be an auto-load trailer that we will use, or we will use one of the bale loaders. Now, there's several bale loaders that we can choose from with the Anderson DLC, which I think is a wonderful thing, being able to choose from all of them, but they're not cheap. So, and also, should I be buying those before I go off and I buy anything else? Now, I realise I can't really do this as a weekly question because this is later on in the week, and so I haven't got time to do it as a weekly question, but I'm wondering if maybe I should have done it as a weekly question, because that would actually be quite a good weekly question. Let's go and have a look right here, right now, Baling technology. We spent 50 grand on that one. That one there is 76. The other one that we spent money on was this wrapper down here for 8,000. So there's not a huge amount, but then that combines the two jobs in together. So that's really good one to get right there, I think. It also has a wider pickup than this baler, which as far as I'm concerned is an absolutely wonderful thing. So then you've got, well, we've got that one, bale wrapper. I don't know if that one runs faster. I don't know what the difference is between that one and the other wrapper. Not a clue. I'll have to find out if that one goes faster or not. Then we've got these two. So there's that one there for 50,000 and there's that one there for 72,000. These other ones down through here, I'm not particularly interested in those at the moment. So it's that one for 72, which is actually designed for round bales that are wrapped, or you've got this one and we can just ignore the fact that it needs to be wrapped. So that would be 72,000 there. And the other one, 76. There's 140 grand that we could go and waste on all of this. That's a lot of money. The other option for picking up the bales themselves is we go to the autoload. I got that one. The Lizard flat deck right there is 56,000. I don't know if any of the trailers now on the... because there's several trailers have been added into the mod hub. I'm not actually aware if any of those trailers are auto-load trailers. Now, if some of those are auto-load, it's very difficult coming down here without actually coming to a bit of grief, isn't it? Right, just coming down that slope, it tends to slide us around a bit, which is not great. Yeah, we've got several trailers on the mod hub now, and as far as I'm aware, none of those trailers are auto-load trailers. But I could be wrong. There could be one or two of those that are auto-load, which would be a smaller trailer than what we've got right now. And that would be a really cool thing to have. Right? That would be a really good thing to get. I quite like that idea. I also quite like the idea of just going into the XML file and just speeding up the time that it takes for our little wrapper that we've got. That might be something that's definitely worth looking at. Like, we got that wrapper over there. I might actually do that. I might just go into the XML file and speed up the wrapping time on it, because that, I think, would be something that is acceptable. As far as that, well, I consider that to be acceptable behavior, speeding up the wrapping time. I see no issue with that whatsoever. Absolutely no problem with that at all. Now, the other thing that we had was, oh yes, of course. The other issue that we had was that I've got the baler, I've got the front loader, but I don't have a bucket for my front loader, so I can't actually scrape up the grass over here. So that's something that I'm going to need to do. Let me just bring you back over around here. It's a little bit uneven in there. There's a bit of room for improvement in that bit. Right there. Let's back you up there. Like this. I'll spin you back out around. Like that. Short wheelbase. The short base between the hitch and the back wheels on this baler really do make it difficult to move around sometimes. Right. Let's put you going. I'm going to run you up through like that. And I'll very quickly gather that up. And then I will spin round. And I will grab the rest of it. Over this way. Like that. There. Nope, it's not going to let me get that bit. Fine. Okay, I won't get that bit. I will turn that one off. And then I will come back up around this way, like this. And I'm just going to leave that one there. Doesn't need to go anywhere else. It can just go like that. Okay. And we will stop you. You're done. So let's now have a look. That is on the first stage of harvest, ready to harvest. I think it does actually grow. It does, look. If you look at the difference over here, you actually get a difference in yield between the two. Yeah? You need to wait for it to go to the second harvest stage before you do any harvesting. So let's speed this up now. We want to go to... well, we can go to 7 o'clock and we can sleep for 12 hours. That'll take us through until 7 a.m. in the morning. 7 a.m. in the morning. Well, yeah, 7 a.m. would be the one in the morning, Frith. Come on, get with the program. All right, let's slow that down. There we go, like that. 5 times speed again. And we'll go in here, and we will get 12 hours of sleep. There we go. Sleep. All the way through the night. Yes, we are going to lose our 7,000 overnight. Or 7,500, I should say. That's fine. We don't mind that. And out we come bright and early. And then I want to have a look. Right. You haven't changed very much. We've got 2,800 litres of wool in here. That's still not on the right growth stage. I need that to move on to the next growth stage so that we can harvest it. It's going to be our biggest problem, I think. So look at our animals. How are you doing? 97%. So it's mostly clean. There's a little bit of dirt here. A little bit. There is some. Alright. I'm just going to speed time up now. I'm going to start going... Why am I going so fast with this? Do I need to? Well... I would like this to grow, and I want to be able to get started with that. But we've also got a load of stump grinding to do, haven't we? So let's put that back down to 5 times speed. We'll have a look in here a second. They're still on that growth stage. I'll leave it. I'm going to leave it as it is. So what we'll do is we'll go into here. We will run this round. Oh, nope. Let's put that one back on. Like that. I'm going to run this back round to the sheep. Like this. Come on. Through you go. There. Like that. Easy does it. There. And then I will run up alongside the feed trough like this. Gathering up all of the grass. Like that. There, that's gathered all of that up. I've now got 1,415 in this baler. It's not a huge amount. We will eventually have a whole bale full that we will bring out and we will let go. But we're not going to have that right now. So we will unhitch you. And then we will go over here and we will get that BioBelt log stump grinder. We'll get that one on. And we will start doing a little bit of stump grinding. In tomorrow's episode, we will start doing the mowing and that. We'll park up the stump grinder. Let's just bring you back onto there. There we go. And I'll run you out this way. How are we doing? Oh. Right, it is actually ready. We have now gone to the point where we're ready to start mowing. So I'm going to do a few minutes of this. We'll get rid of a few of these over here. It should go a little bit easier than it did previously because we've now got more horsepower. And that horsepower is going to be invaluable for this. It really is. Go on, keep going back. Like that. And we'll go on to the next one. Yes, it is a bit of a time-consuming process. We know that. It's not like we haven't done this before. I'm pretty sure I've got different braking going on this one. What is it? It's a stop-go braking thing, isn't it? Automatic engine start. Turn that off. Stop-go braking is... Right, I want that on. Right. So then when I do that, and then I stop... That's better. If I'm pressing backwards, it should just go backwards. I shouldn't have to release the backward key and then press it again. So first it acts as a brake and then it acts as a reverse. Whereas it doesn't do that if you don't have the if you turn the stop-go braking off, it doesn't. It just starts trying to push you backwards as soon as you stop, which is actually what I prefer. I find it easier to work like that. There, and we do it like that. And then we come round over this way. Stop you right there. And I'll run up through there like that. I can move a lot easier now with this extra horsepower. Like, we were really struggling to move at all with it. Now I can run around quite happily with the stump grinder, moving forwards and backwards as I have to. Definitely made an improvement. But we've also run out of time for today's episode. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And in tomorrow's episode, we will go and mow the field right beside me. We'll unhitch this stump grinder right near the beginning of the episode, and we will mow the meadow right next to us, and we will also try and do the baling and everything else. Before the episode, I am going to have a look at making the wrapper faster. I'd like it to wrap faster than it does right now. We'll probably work on doing much the same as what we did last time for this harvest, which was pick up the bale out of the field and then run it back to the sell point and sell it straight onto the sell point. It just seemed a whole lot faster doing it like that. And then we'll see about buying an autoload trailer of some description for later on, because we've got all of this new field that we want to make. We've got to turn it all into new field and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all to come next time. But anyway, we'll worry about that later. It's once we've done some stumps, it is mowing time. Yeah. So anyway, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.